Tell us about the local debt issue. What's at stake here?
Yeah, well, Heidi, there's a couple of different ways to look at this. Depends, of course, of who you're talking about, what's at stake there. But for Country Garden, for instance, there's the risk that it's on the hook now for a huge principal repayment next month for investors in this. It's something else that really builds onto already weak confidence. And then there's the bondholders themselves. But let's get through the details of this, because we're talking about a yuan-denominated bond. It's been issued by one of Country Garden's units. You can see there, Guangdong Giant Leap Construction. Now, what is at stake? Well, the principal, which is due on October 21, you can see there at the bottom highlighted, that is really being asked to be pushed out at this stage by another 3 years. Now, if this all sounds very familiar, Country Garden asking to kick the can down the road, well, it really is, because for this bond in question, it's the third time that the vote on this has been extended. So we were already supposed to have wrapped up the voting on this note in question of Thursday last week, but Evergrande was forced to push out the deadline for bondholders to consider whether they would grant that extension to 10 p.m. Monday night instead. And as well, this note in question is the last in a series of 8 yuan-denominated bonds where Country Garden has asked for permission to postpone the principal repayment. So we're going to be certainly watching for the outcome of this one later. If bondholders do reject it, then, as I said, Country Garden is going to need to be paying that outstanding principal next month of more than $62 million. It is, or would be, the largest near-term maturity. And of course, Heidi, Sherry, this is already a company that's really struggling to make even smaller repayments.
Yeah, so what's happening with their dollar bonds as well?
Yeah, this is another note that's really in focus, because there's $15.4 million of interest that is effectively due Monday on a dollar security. Now, this one matures in 2025, so still a bit of breathing room there until that principal payment due. It does have a 30-day grace period, so of course there'll be that question of whether Evergrande chooses to exercise this, because in August, or earlier in August, last August rather, Country Garden was facing $22.5 million of interest repayments, and they did fail to make that, only just getting through or sneaking through in that 30-day grace period. And you can see there that has really been the big shock to bondholders there, because we've still got a number of dollar bonds that are trading deeply in distressed territory at around 10% of the face value. So Country Garden, even as I say, it has really managed to push out a lot of debt deadlines and reduce the amount of principal or repayments that are due by the end of 2023. Investors are still very wary of what was once China's largest construction company.